Greetings and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with another live 1 vs 1 battle featuring spawning in the south. It's going to be the Wehrmacht forces of Yeziwen. And spawning in the north, it is going to be the United Kingdom forces of Zarok. Who we've actually recently been able to cast. I believe I cast Zarok versus Pouch, in which Pouch took a spoiler alert, by the way. If you haven't watched this video, go back and go and watch that one before I spoil that one for you. But yeah, Pouch took like a really sweet Overwatch Doctrine build and was able to overcome Zarok handily. So it looks like Zarok going to be mixing things up, switching to the UKF. He was playing USF in that game. Tommy's going to be first off the bat. And quickly, yay, it's Crossing in the Woods. I feel like I haven't cast a game on this map for ages as well. I love this map. It's just, I don't know, it's one of my favourite maps. And I'm really hoping that Yeziwen is going to oblige me here by manufacturing or training a German sniper, because I haven't cast a German sniper for ages. And I know how everyone loves it when I miss them getting killed all the time, which is like what I do every game that involves a German sniper. Lol, haha. Hashtag procaster. So anyway, yeah, no, it would just be sweet to see a German sniper. I haven't seen one of those for some time. So let's see. Looks like we got Grenadiers. Looks like we got MG42. These are going to be the initial choices, although not in that order actually. Sorry, MG42 into Grenadiers, of course, for Yeziwen. Looks like Tommy's coming down the left flank here, going to be grabbing up some a trench here on the fuel point. So that's a pretty good idea, I suppose. Going to be putting some sandbags to buff their rate of fire in this location as well. We've got a Bren carrier on the field for Zarok. It is actually just awkwardly idle. Okay, there we go. Finally, I was going to say, that was just a kind of awkward position to leave a Bren carrier idle at this stage in the game. He's going to find some Grenadiers here. And catching them on the negative cover is pretty painful, actually. Immediately getting good damage onto that squad. So, wow, yeah, I mean, there's really not that much going on right now. Both players just kind of moving out across the map. It's a pretty like denied flank strategy from both players. Like, Yeziwen has sent all of his forces into the east of the map, and Zarok has sent all of his forces into the west. Almost all, actually. Sorry, the Bren carrier just going to chill over here. That's actually quite a smart decision, because the Bren carrier is cheap, but it kind of beats Grenadiers, kind of beats Pioneers, and it can actually put up a pretty good fight even against an MG42. And if the MG42 wants to push that Bren back, it's a very slow, long-winded and annoying process to do that. So I actually, this is really smart. The Bren carrier is stalling Yeziwen's advance like considerably. I mean, look at the map control. This Bren carrier has like stalled him around here for quite some time, allowing all of the British infantry just to be capping and garrisoning and just like reinforcing, you know, digging trenches and sandbags and whatnot in the west. So that's a pretty smart opener there from Zarok, and I do like what I see. It makes a lot of sense. Anyway, we've got medkits, the boys from Wales coming down, so of course the platoon command post has finished for the British player. Let's see, how much manpower is he floating? Coming up for, well, let's see, if he buys another squad at 280, then he'll buy another squad at 280. But let's see if he floats, because he might want to go for Crossing in the Woods is one of those maps where like a turbo early mortar pit can actually be kind of devastating, because the map's quite small. A mortar pit located even close to centrally on the map, and by even close to centrally I mean like even as far back as like here, it can be really annoying, and it will vet up quickly, and it's very difficult for Ostia to answer. It will force them to do something kind of crazy if they want to answer it. So could be an option. Another squad of Royal Engineers, actually, though, is going to be the choice here, as we've got mixed skirmishing beginning to break out at several locations around the map. Looks like we've got Tommy's versus Grens here. Beginning to commit some of his units to the east of the map right now is Zarok, looking to get some capturing done. And wow, I'm very impressed with his field control right now. Wow, for UK forces, this represents pretty damn good field control. And I've got to say, I'm surprised at Yeziwen. Like, this map, Crossing in the Woods, is typically regarded as a pretty Ostia-favoured map. I mean, you know, like the win rates for Ostia are probably not higher than 60% on this map, but they're definitely higher than 50%. And the reason for that is because there's, you know, it's very wide, it's very open, there's good lines of sight and things. So you can really get your value for money out of MG42s and German marksmen, which are like two of Ostia's premium, most powerful early game units. But he's kind of only built one MG42, which, I mean, it's been kind of meh this whole game. He's going to catch some units here in the arc at last. But he hasn't used the sniper, and I'm a little surprised that on this map that there's no marksman. Perhaps Yeziwen just has other plans, perhaps he's not a marksman user and abuser, perhaps, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the justification can be for that. Looks like some Tommy's going to try and break through the lines here. Looking to possibly come up for a flank on this MG. Oh, this is nice, using the Bren as a carrier. We don't often see that, and he's going to dump these engineers right on top of this MG42, immediately causing a flash fallback to come down. And I believe 5-man squad upgrade has also finished for the British player, judging by the health on his units. It looks as... Yep, so 5-man squad upgrade has come down at a reasonably early timing. And with 2 squads of Royal Engineers and 2 squads of Tommies, that actually represents like pretty substantial amounts of infantry firepower. I mean, that's already enough to completely overpower like Grenadiers, Pioneers, and that kind of stuff. So, a 2-2-2 here is going to be the choice for Yeziwen as he tries to redress the balance of power on this map. He's got the medical bunker and it is in the wrong position. Hashtag Magpie Rants. Do go and look at that YouTube video. This is the wrong place for this bunker. It is way less efficient. Put it here. This is just a fact. So, let's see. Like the mechanized company has finished. Well, of course it has. We've got the 2-2-2 on the way. Lol. So that should be a really good answer for this Bren carrier, which should also be a pretty good answer for all of the other units you see up here in the top right. And I wonder if we'll see these Tommies get cancelled and a different choice get taken here in a second. The Bren actually not even going to put up a fight or try to get away. Both of his crew member going to use the ejector seat here and then go into ragdoll mode as they attempt to scurry for cover here. And an infantry section of Tommies has been trained. I'm sorry, I just had a really funny mental image pop up. So the 2-2-2 already looking pretty strong, and now it's going to start forcing back additional infantry squads. Axis forces also basically swarming the left. MG42, 2 squads of Grenadiers. This MG42 actually not firing. That's a little awkward. He probably just wants to put it up here into this cover and then it can fire. That was a rifle grenade, yeah. Rifle grenade comes through there. So those Tommies are going to have to GTFO. These Tommies are going to have to GTFO. Lots of Tommies going to have to GTFO. Oh, wow. Okay, that's one way of dealing with a 2-2-2. So Zarok goes ahead and picks the special weapons reg, which I haven't seen used for ages. Man, everyone's making me so happy recently. In all the games I've cast recently, everyone's taking cool commanders and just doing cool stuff. It's sweet. So anyway, yay. Special weapons regiment is here, and that means that we've got Tank Hunter Tommies. Woo! And they've got the... what is it? The Boys 55 caliber AT rifle. Well, a nice rifle grenade going to come through there as well. But yeah, those AT rifles will be able to ping down. I believe they have 2. One. Do they have 2 or just 1? Oh yeah, they do have 2. Yeah. So he's going to be able to ping down. I mean, that will put pretty serious damage onto this 2-2-2, assuming he can actually get some shots. And remember, of course, like the Tank Hunter Tommies, they do have the like passive ability to detect all vehicles on the minimap for quite a good radius around them. Like that ability is like as useful, I would say, as the Kuberwagen's detection ability. Like it's getting up there, and I think it's like got a slightly smaller radius than the Kuberwagen's one, but you don't have to activate it, and it doesn't slow the unit download. So I would say it's about as good. Certainly very useful, and of course you don't even need any veterancy for it. They just do it. So yeah, this command is also really cool though, because you get a reinforcing half-track, which is like a luxury that the Brits don't normally have access to. And I know people don't really use reinforcing half-tracks, but I still like them. So it's just a cool commander to have access to that. And of course being able to put Vickers Ks and Piets on all of your infantry units without having to research the weapon racks is quite nice. So that's pretty cool. And the rest of the abilities, I mean, Crocodiles, turns out they're pretty good. Concentrated Fire Operation, Heavy Boom Boom, who doesn't like that? And Hold the Line, is that the one where you like wait and then some Hawker Typhoons come? Yeah. Okay, well that one's pretty cool as well. So just an all-round good commander here. Happy to see it. So anyway, we've got fighting going on pretty much all across the map. MG42 in a nice position here, holding off like a lot of Brit infantry right now. That is the only thing keeping that flank pretty secure. There's the 222s here as well, but the Tank Hunter boys get on top of it. Sorry, the Tank Hunter Tommies on top of it. The heat grenade comes through, and that is going to break the engine and leave this thing stricken on really low health. But the Tank Hunter Tommies get cut down by Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneers, and that 222, which survives, and the Pioneers are going to repair that. So that 222 coming on for looking pretty crucial. Now, he does have mech doctrine here, and now that he has a pretty vetted up 222, I believe it's at 2 stars that it gets the line of sight bonus. Yes? Yeah, it is. So, yeah, so if he goes mechanized doctrine, he can take the spotting scope and basically have map hacks, which is cool. This is also just not generally that bad of a map for mech doctrine. The Panzer Command Tank is going to be useful on this map. The Left 18, useful. The Smoke, useful. So that's an attractive option for Yeziwen. We'll see if it's going to be enough to sway his choice of commander. It may very well not be. He may have designs on bringing in, I don't know, the Panzer Ace or something like that, or the Tiger Ace, I should say. What's this? Assault Support Doctrine. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Some 2v2, 3v3, 4v4 tech seems to have snuck its way into this 1v1. But I've seen it used in 1v1, and it might not be terrible. We'll see if he can... I mean, yeah, I don't think we're going to see an open truck this game. But if we do, I'll be a happy caster. That is for sure. Now, this 222 is going to come careening on into the lines, backed up by some Panzer Grenadiers here. Meanwhile, be cognizant, on the minimap you can see a couple of Axis units also sneaking up the right flank there, going to try and grab the fuel point and just further harry Zarok. And I've got to say, Zarok got off to a lovely start, but losing those tank hunter boys was really bad. And now Yeziwen is kind of clawing back the map control, and I like his composition, and I like his army size. Like, this army up here in the top left is a fine army for an Axis player to have as we come up to the 11-minute mark, you know. Nice 2-star on your 222, pack gun, three Grenadiers, got some Panzer Grens in there, MG plus the Pioneers. So it's a nice, well-balanced, very functional force that provides a lot of lines of play for victory. So I like that a lot. The force up in the top right is far less sophisticated, far less complicated. Just basically Tommies, some of whom happen to have some AT rifles, and Royal Engineers. So I'd love to see some variation creep into the British ranks now. The 222 here getting its 3rd star of veterancy. There are some tank hunter boys here though who would love to put some big holes in this, and they're going to throw the heat grenade. Biff, there goes that. Yeah, there goes the 222. So that one has now been scragged. Nice kill for Zarok. I love how the austere announcer just sounds like such a kind of caring old man. He just like feels like, it sounds like he really doesn't want to be on the front lines or anywhere near a battle. He's like, it just sounds like he is almost like Father Christmas, only German or something. Whereas the overcommand announcer just sounds like he's freaking loving life. He's just like born for the battlefield. Oh, that is awesome times. Woo, okay, I have just spilled like a small amount of tea, but it's cool. We can continue to cast. So let's check the tech here for the two players. Brit player has company command post. It is finished, and there is a Cromwell. That is going to be the tech of choice. Let's check the Axis tech here. Looks like no sign of Battle Phase 2. So he's going to be playing with without Battle Phase 2 tech for some time here. He is floating like plenty of fuel. Yeah, enough fuel that if he went for that tech now, if he went for Battle Phase 2 now, he could get a Panzer IV out. Like, he would have the fuel for the Panzer IV by the time the support armor core was complete. So that wouldn't be that bad of a decision here, I think.
We have taken it.
Both players just taking a moment here just to deploy and commit their forces around the map. A little bit of reinforcing and retreating just being completed here. And I'm sure hostilities will recommence very shortly. That Cromwell going to be entering the field here momentarily as well. Looks like pack gun here, just going to like mano a mano this trench. Come on guys, it's a trench. You can hit that. Oh dearie me. MG42 here going to start hooning on these Tommies. That's going to prompt a fallback here. And again, I think Zarok's forces here. This Cromwell has got a lot of work to do. It is the only, like, I don't know. I think all of the other units in the British force are going to have troubles taking on this Axis army. But the Cromwell is going to be the kingmaker here. And here it comes. He's going to send it straight into this MG42. But there's a pack gun here. Pack gun's not set up though. Bang, Cromwell comes in, gets an okay hit for a moving shot there on the first shot. Okay, now he takes a stationary shot, so this one, oh, rolling another miss, and this pack gun's actually going to get out. You could take some shots from here actually. I think just deploy the pack gun there. Grenadiers coming on in, creeping on in, looking for Fausts. Meanwhile, over in the east. Uh-oh, okay, hang on a sec. Sorry guys, that is in fact my doorbell. I'm gonna pause and then resume this cast in just a second. Sorry about that guys. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, hello. Sorry about that. And we're back. Okay. Oh, sorry, it was just a delivery. Had to go sign for something there, but I am now back and on point. So where were we? Oh yes, that's right, yeah. So there was a Cromwell tearing stuff up and okay, so, whoa, Yeziwen is stacking loads of manpower. I thought his army looked a little bit small. That is an inexcusable amount to be stacking, surely. What possible reason can there be for stacking that much at this point in the game? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, well, Battle Phase 2 is... Oh, that's why he's stacking. Okay. Alright, he's just going straight to battle phase 3. Ooh, I do like this, risky though it is. He's going to have to try and hold off this Cromwell and possibly another for a little while here. Until he gets access to his highest tier units. I mean, he's going to be going for the heavy Panzer Corps, so I mean, it's going to be Panther, Brumbar, or Raketen, sorry, Panzerwerfer. So, okay, I like that a lot. I do like that from Yeziwen. I don't think austere players do this very often because it's so risky and you often just die before you can reap any of the rewards, but I still think this is a smart choice. Now, here comes a pretty good assault from Zarok here. Going to be barreling down the right flank here, just attacking on into the east. Grabbing the mid as well, putting some mines on the bridge as a savvy choice. Looks like he's got a Vickers. There's this, yep, Vickers here covering the bridge. So this is really nice. The Cromwell just kind of... actually not really helping as much as you might have thought, but the Cromwell definitely was just standing by in a support role, ready to be applied whenever an opportunity presents itself. The west of the map is actually really quiet. And these Grenadiers, I would love to see them just quickly grab this point if they could. I mean, they've got an MG42 kind of backing them up, and I guess they want to stay nearby. Pack gun as well. So I think even if Yeziwen loses these points over here, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he doesn't want to just give them away, but I mean, equally, it's not like game-breaking if he does so. Victory points situation as we come up to like the 16 and a half minute mark. 389 for Yeziwen, 430 for Zarok, so a slight lead for the allied player, who I still have to say I think has been performing pretty well for the first half of this game. I mean, I'm not sure I like his composition, but he's made it work, and he has guided the game to a position where he's like actually ahead at this stage in the game, and like looking pretty good. He has the Cromwell, he's got the tech, he can access whatever he needs. He's also got some sweet things that he can spice in thanks to his commander here. So things looking pretty good here for Zarok. Some Grenadiers going to try and have a go here at mid, but they've got to be careful. These mines are still about. The M6 mines they do hit everything, right? They're not just like AT mines. Yeah, they hit everything. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know why. Just like the way they looked, like suddenly I was just like, those kind of look like AT mines, but I've seen them hit infantry so many times. Why do I doubt myself? Why do I doubt myself? That's probably a deeper philosophical question about life in general, actually. But anyway. Looks like a GR34 is going to get mixed on in here for Yeziwen. Better late than never, but I still think this is actually going to be quite a cool choice. If you look at Yeziwen's positioning right now, actually, I'm sorry, we've got a fight here with the Cromwell. Looks like Grenadiers looking for a fast. Boom, the pack gun actually coming through for a sweet hit. Actually, that was kind of a pack spit roast here. Double packing going to be going on down into this Cromwell, and that is a sweet kill for Yeziwen, taking out his opponent's premium fuel investment and building up a Centaur. What the? Haven't seen a Centaur for ages. Alright, well, Zarok's going to replace the Cromwell with a Centaur. I can only imagine he meant this unit to be tag teaming with the Cromwell. I mean, it's still a very intimidating and scary unit, but the heyday of the Centaur has passed. It's still very, very effective. It's just not like utterly broken like it used to be. And let's not forget, it's quite slow, and it can be exploited. And your opponent already has 2 pack guns, so we'll see. We'll see what this Centaur is going to be able to get done. Also, there's going to be an SAS sniper following this up, and I have to say, I was saying earlier how this is a good map for snipers. Well, it's a good map for anybody's sniper, and the SAS sniper is no exception. And I think that's actually going to be a really, I mean, it's going to counter the weapons teams really nicely, of which there are 5 now, and it also kind of makes a mockery of Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers, so it just seems like a really good choice. Brumbar going to be the choice here for Yeziwen, which I can only applaud. That's awesome. We don't see nearly enough Brumbar. I am so happy to have more Brumbar in my life. That is fine. So, yep, it looks like we're going to have Brumbar versus Centaur. And if you'd have told me, if you'd have said, Magpie, in this next game that you're going to cast here today, it's going to be Brumbar versus Centaur, I would have said, okay, no, I've got £1,000 that says no, and I would have lost that money because we're actually going to have Brumbar versus Centaur. Oh my goodness. Yeziwen, by the way, as well, he's gone ahead and he did choose the mechanized assault. Sorry, the mech doctrine even. So he's going to have access to the spotting scopes, the smoke pots, and the various call-ins and the left 18 that's available to that commander. Is reporting for duty. And that is the sound of a Brumbar. There it is. The enemy is taking our territory. So, okay, well, let's see if he's able to get... Oh, he can get spotting scopes on it as well. That's quite nice. Yeah, this Brumbar could be good. And there's not much to counter it, really. I mean, there's the AT boys and the SAS sniper, and that's kind of it. Apart from that, this Brumbar just kind of bestrides the battlefield as a god. Not very much is going to be able to cause it any significant harm. Now, the British player here, Zarok, is making a massive grab here in the west, going to be grabbing all that land, and he's pretty much already secured the east. So now Yeziwen needs to push. He needs to take some map control. He needs to push back. His position is getting far too concentrated. He's getting pushed back on all fronts. He's already kind of behind on the VP stakes, and now he's under a triple cap, so it's no longer slow bleed. He needs to do something about this. So the Brumbar advances menacingly to the front. Centaur here relocating, so we might get Brumbar versus Centaur, like literally. Oh, wow. Oh, come on. Please, Brumbar, reveal yourself against the Centaur. Yes! Oh, yes! Bong! Biff. Oh, he didn't stun it. Oh, well. So, yeah, the Brumbar is okay against vehicles if they just sit there and take it. But, you know, the shells that it fires are quite slow. Although they can stun, but it's not your premium anti-vehicle. Let's put it that way. It ain't your premium anti-tank, but it's, you know, it is effective to some extent against armor, and certainly very scary against infantry. You can see that Vickers immediately deciding to go and stand somewhere where that Brumbar is not going to blow it up. So you got to respect the Brum. Looks like Shreks as well coming down on the Panzer Grenadiers, which I like. So that's 2 pack guns and Fausts and Shreks. And the Brumbar. So that is a reasonable and good, a decent amount of anti-tank. Now, Zarok is stacking fuel, and he's low on manpower, as is the Brit way of life. But he is stacking fuel. So I guess we're going to see a Firefly next. I think Firefly makes a lot of sense. I don't think a Cromwell... I mean, a Cromwell can threaten a Brumbar, but the odds of it actually stringing together a kill there is pretty slim. So I think I like the Firefly best. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, which wee bollock do you want shot off first? I do like that. I do like the Scottish sniper. He's cool. Boom! There he goes, just blasting down these grenadiers like a bolt from above. Brumbar comes forward though, and the sniper does not want any part of that. Ooh, man, that Brumbar looks so intimidating. It's just like, that's scary stuff, man. Every shot that thing takes makes your heart flinch as an allied player. And he's gonna try for another one here. Boom! Biff. Finds a Royal Engineer there. And I think it's at 2-star it gets the rate of fire increase. Yeah, and the armoured skirts. Yeah, it's like if you can get them to 2-star, as with so many Axis units, then they really come into their own and start being really good. The AT boys here coming forward. Pack gun set up in a nice position. Sorry, 6-pounder. Set up in a nice position on the flank here. Gets 1 hit onto the Brumbar, forcing it back. Grenadier's going to relocate to try for a rifle grenade, I imagine, here, to push away the weapon team there. And no action to speak of whatsoever over in here in the west. In fact, there's a lot of... Why are these grenadiers just like... Surely these units ought to be doing something. You can't just... You have to at least try with the grenadiers, at least to get information about what's out there. Those grenadiers standing there just kind of makes me a bit nervous, really. That seems so suboptimal. Sniper gets cut down! Sniper gets blasted into chunky kibbles by the Brumbar, and that's worth the price of admission. That is a sight I've not seen for a long time. That is a stinger there, a slap delivered to the face of Zarok, courtesy of the Brumbar and Yeziwen. That's just nice work. Oh, yes, what a day of Company of Heroes 2. It's just been too long since I've seen a sniper blown to bits by a Brumbar. Like, that just doesn't happen in Company of Heroes 2 these days. Now, anyway, that Brumbar is kind of exposed here. The 6-pounder taking shots into its flank. It's down at 2/3 health. Going to risk taking another hit here. Biff, and that hit does come through. It's going to risk taking another hit. He has to get out of here, man. You got to repair this thing. Remember, Brumbars have quite a lot of health, which means that they take quite a long time to repair. And there's a Firefly on the build queue for the British player, so that Brumbar is going to need to be in optimum condition. Though, of course, there's no way Yeziwen can know that for sure, but he has to suspect. Here comes the Centaur, going to find itself finally an opportunity. No, it's not. There's already a pack gun here. And one thing I must commend Yeziwen on is that his pack guns have seemingly always been in the right place at the right time. British armour is no joke. Cromwells, Centaurs, they're really good. And these 2 pack guns have just had it covered. They have had it on lockdown, which has been really nice. Now, these Grenadiers finally have been getting active over here in the west. They're going to be crucially grabbing a VP, and that is exactly what Yeziwen needs to do. He stops the bleed at 235, so he's about, well, he's like 195 tickets behind his opponent. Okay, so the rockets finish on the Firefly. The commander is already done, so that is a Firefly to be reckoned with now. And, you know, using those rockets to set up the stun on the Brumbar is a real way that you can beat that. Is that a Pack 43? Oh, sorry, no, of course it's a Lef 18. Blur. Well, Lef 18 is going to be built here, and again, I really like this from Yeziwen. That's going to enable him to put on some pressure, and this just doesn't really give a damn about the Firefly, so that's really nice. How far is its range on this map? Oh, okay, it's the map. Okay, so I mean, if he wanted to, he could take shells into his opponent's base. That's what I wanted to know. Centaur going to put pay to these Grenadiers in the west, and some Tommy's going to come across here to start retaking the VP and things like that. So Yeziwen's reprieve here going to be cut as short as possible by Zarok. So Zarok doing what he can, getting something done. Firefly reveals itself because it wasn't set to... Okay, now it's set to prioritize vehicles, but still revealing itself there is a touch awkward because I don't think it had been spotted up till then. And not having the element of surprise is a big deal. Now the Lef 18 has finished, and shells can now be designated to be called in. So we'll have to see what Yeziwen's going to do on that one. Okay, yep, taking aim. Looks like he wants to put some shells possibly around here. Maybe if he knows the Centaur is here, he may have like put the barrage like here, try some scatter. Here comes that first shell. Oh, this is an intimidating amount of HE that this Axis army is beginning to put down now. Tommy's here as well, taking some shots into the pack gun, but they will be repulsed by the MG. Looks like a nice hit was came through onto the Vickers from the Lef 18 there at some point. Oh man, this is intimidating. Also, what do you call this? The like coordinated fire operation, the smoke flare for the British forces. What is the actual name of this? God damn, I haven't played Brits because I've been playing US recently. Brits used to be my go-to. Oh, I can't tell you what that thing's called at the moment because they're falling back. But anyway, he's called in the coordinated fire. The British 25-pounders are going to start hammering this location. But there's not really anything there. So we've got a bit of an artillery war here. Let's just listen. Well, there we go. I just like the dulcet tones of shells crisscrossing in the air and blasting everything to bits. But anyway. Vickers gun here actually catches these Panzergrens. That's a bit annoying. They'll probably have to fall back, I think. They're taking a lot of damage. Where are they really going here? Like straight into the maw of a load of Tommies is where they're going. Is that Brumbar repaired? The Brumbar is repaired. Going to come across here. But I believe this, if it comes forward towards this bridge, that is a straight shot for the Tulips. So he's got to be careful with that. And he is, MG42, in a reasonable position here. Actually, it's kind of not in the cover, but it is going to start finding Tommies in its arcs and things like that, which is really good. And if the British player secures this point, that's going to put Yeziwen back under the clock. So that's kind of the crucial thing to be observing right here. 6-pounder here, getting some sweet shots into the flank of this Brumbar. Brumbar going to push back the Tommies that were pushing in the west. And looks like Zarok here just inching forward here, just tightening the noose bit by bit, putting the pressure on. Whoa, the Lef 18 actually finds a hit on the Firefly. Oh, gets 2 hits on the Firefly. Whoa, that's pretty unlucky for Zarok, I'll be honest. That shouldn't be happening. And you know what? Yeziwen can actually call in the Command Panzer IV, and I think that would be really sweet right now because of the defensive buff. Because this is such an attrition-based push here from Zarok, just the slow push. And if you can shift the efficiency of all these little exchanges by making your units more durable, I don't know, just seems really good. But then again, actually, he's got enough fuel and he's got nearly enough manpower where a Panther is doable. And of course, he actually finally has the tech. How much? It's 175 fuel. How much manpower? 490. Oh, I see. Wow, he's just at pop cap. Wow. Okay, he's just at pop cap. So, well, as soon as he loses anything, he can get a Panther. It's like, if I were him, I would probably just grab like one of the pack guns and just right-click it on into my opponent's base, or like maybe an MG, but they're quite useful. So I would just sack a pack gun, get a Panzer for Panzer 6. Is it Panzer 6? No, it's Panzer 5 is the Panther. My bad. Anyway. Sappers here trying their luck in the jaws of the Brumbar. How much veterancy on that thing now? Coming up, so it's like 1 1/3, and we need it to get to... Oh no, the Tulips are going to connect though. Heinous damage is dealt and the stun comes through. No option. Oh, he needs to use the smoke. He needs to use the smoke bombs here, like right now. Oh my god, how does he get out of there? Surely the Firefly is going to put the finishing touches on that Brumbar. No! Wow. Oh, I thought for sure that was a dead Brumbar. And now the mortar getting rear armor hits on this Firefly is taking the piss how much artillery is actually connecting with that Firefly. Oh, and the 6-pounder just kind of misrallied there. Feeds itself on into the jaws of death. And that's a 6-pounder donated. Not that the Axis player needs it particularly. Okay, these Grenadiers going to have to turn and run. Meanwhile, all the way over here, what is this? That's just like one... Oh, that'll be the 6-pounder crew. Okay. Just kind of confusing me on the mini-map there. Whoa, that's a lot of British forces, and you can tell weapon racks are done because suddenly everybody's got Bren guns, but the Vickers gun gets cut down. I think that was a Lef 18 round that cut them down. But wow, what a game. This is like pitched battle. We've got like machine guns, infantry, tanks, like assault guns, like artillery. This is proper World War II pitched battle stuff. Coming up to the half an hour mark here. 224 for the Axis player, 417 for Zarok and the Brits. He's actually breaking through here with these Tommies. Good amounts of veterancy on them, so they're quite durable, but the Brumbar says no. Just the mere rotation of a Brumbar enough to cause these Tommies to fall back. Actually, with the Tommies falling back, that is like a lot of the army for Zarok, and there's an opportunity here for Yeziwen to grab this middle VP. Here comes some plucky Grenadiers going to try their luck. Not going in with the metal detector is risky, but I think the amount of indirect fire that's been coating this area means it's unlikely any mines have managed to survive. So these Grenadiers are going to move on in, and they are actually going to get a pretty good decap and hopefully take that victory point.
There's a crocodile ready to cause all kinds of havoc.
Oh, wow. Okay, this just in, there's a crocodile ready to cause all kinds of havoc. Uh-oh, and Crocodile Firefly is one of those notoriously difficult to deal with late game compositions. I think we've all lost games against Brits who've got to the Firefly Crocodile, and you're just sitting there with your Axis toys, which are normally really good, just kind of thinking, well, this is lame. Or maybe we've all been sitting there as the British forces, and you've got your Crocodile and your Firefly, and you just smash everything asunder. You know, there is something beautiful about overrunning with a Crocodile, burning your opponent's Volks and Storm Pioneers, even as your Firefly unleashes into their King Tiger. It's just good times. I do enjoy that kind of a late game. Oh, the Panzer Grenadiers just get cut down. The Crocodile just coming on in here and just destroying the elite infantry. That was an expensive loss. Good veterancy on them as well. That's going to free up the unit cap that Yeziwen needs, though, to make the Panther tank. So Panther on the queue, and the Panther is exactly what is needed, it's true, to deal with this Crocodile. It's going to provide some range and some extra AT hitting power. That, with the Brumbar for the stuns, with the possibility of Fausts if the Grenadiers are very brave and lucky, with the Pack Guns, that represents enough AT to bring down a Churchill. Let's not forget, though, Churchills still have masses of health, so it's not easy. I am impressed with the amount of indirect fire that's been coming out of this austere force. These are 12 kills on this left 18. That is spice. Wow, that's actually been doing great. We've seen it get, like, what, 2 squad wipes so far, I think? So definitely has been paying for itself. And, okay, Tommy's getting really plucky here, pushing in the west. Mortar doing what it can to push them back. That Mortar, actually, 11 kills, 3 stars of vet. Didn't realize how effective that had been. Pardon me, this game. But, yeah, the British player pushing as far as he can in the west, but he still doesn't hold. I mean, he needs 2 of the VPs, and right now, it's Yeziwen who's catching up. Uh-oh, Crocodile. Oh no, an MG bunker. That will not last long in the face of a Crocodile. But a Panther comes through, Grenadiers are here in support, and a Pack Gun as well. And once again, Yeziwen with the right AT in the right place, and loving the camo on this Panther as well. Very nice. Gets this Crocodile down to like 2/3 of its health, and that off the back of like 3-4 decent AT hits. So like speaking to the durability of these Cromwell chassis units. Churchill chassis units. Yeah, it's going to be a tall order indeed to take that one down. And this is just like a really awkward fight here for Zarok. I feel like he's got the manpower, and I feel like he's got the support to make a push at mid and take it. And I don't know. I mean, this Brumbar is kind of an easy kill, because you come in with the Firefly, you tulip it, you hit it with the Firefly, and then you can like ping it with the boys and just chase up with the Crocodile. This Centaur has been awful. This Centaur has really not paid for itself. If this Centaur would die, that would enable the British player to take like a Cromwell or something else that can help him against the Brumbar and the Panther. I think the Centaur's pretty awful, to be honest. I'm trying to think of a use for it. One use for the Centaur, actually, if the British player had that much scouting, he could like just pilot on in here. There's like nothing stopping it just coming on into the base and then like maybe just ravaging this left 18 or something. That would be, because I mean, I just feel like the Centaur is kind of a waste of a unit, so you might as well take a punt with it, I think, at the moment. Anyway, whoa, Panther gets caught out, gets hit by the tulips. Plenty of Pack Guns are ready though. The Firefly is on death's door. The Panther is also on death's door now, and oh my god, the Centaur goes down. No, sorry. Was that the Centaur that went down? Oh god, no, it was the Firefly. Okay. Another Panther falling back. That Panther is on death's door. This Churchill still with plenty of health. But it is trying to take on a Panther, and the front armor on a Panther is pretty significant. He gets the Pack Gun, burns that one down. He's probably going to get this MG as well. Yeah, gets the MG. And there's just too much health on this Churchill by far. Even if every hit from this Panther penetrates from now, it's not going to be enough. That Churchill is going to totally exfiltrate very safely here. So a great push there from Zarok. Yeah, he lost his Firefly, but I still think it was worth it just to kill off like some of your opponent's squads and make some inroads on this flank. He just desperately needed to capture the VP, which he was never able to do during that whole attack. Now the Brumbar actually kind of coming in from an unexpected angle is actually going to force this this poke back here from Zarok. Oh no, which is the last thing he wanted. Uh-oh, now there's a Vickers here. That's going to get insti-gibbed. Oh no, it doesn't get insti-gibbed, but I imagine it will get shortly gibbed anyway. And no, it's Grenadiers making a run down down into the west flank. Centaur taking shots at it. There is a lot going on this game. I'm not going to lie. Looks like we got ourselves a pretty sweet late game. Looks like the Firefly is going to be replaced. Zarok's going to make the choice to just get that one back. And that does make sense.
Our headquarters are under fire.
Oh no, the Left 18 actually beginning to find shells right back into the British base. And if any of these Tommy squads die, that's big because Zarok doesn't have the manpower to replace them for some time here. It's just the standard issue British issues with the late game. He can't even reinforce these squads to full at the moment. Well, yeah, he probably can just now. But anyway, manpower beginning to bottleneck right now for the British player. Oh my god, and these Left 18 hits are being punishing, but a couple of Brit squads are going to try and break through to the Left 18, but the Brumbar's here to defend. Oh!
Ready to give someone a bloody nose.
Okay, the concentrated fire operation will do the job though. Alright, so these Tommies just punching on through here just to get the line of sight, and that has silenced the Left 18, which Zarok desperately needed to do. So good times there for Zarok, nicely played, well done, but I mean, you know, Yeziwen has the manpower to replace that if he wants to, or he can just get another Panther, and at this point, I don't know, I kind of think another Panther would be, that would be my choice. So a Panther is 16 unit supply, so that would put him up to 87. And then he could get a Panzer IV command tank on top of that. Yeah, so that would probably be the composition I'd be aiming for then with Yeziwen. I'd get that Panther and then look to get a Panzer IV command tank on the back of it and probably steamroll my opponent from there. I mean, that's a pretty intimidating roster if you can get there. Replacing the Left 18 isn't awful, and it looks like some Pioneers headed in this direction. No. He's thinking about it, maybe. The Left 18 is whoops. I think it's 600 manpower. Okay. Both teams just taking a moment here to lick their wounds, repair, reinforce, regroup. Here comes some Tommies. The concentrated fire operation, coordinated fire operation. There we go. Going to come down here. Actually, wait, no, sorry. The concentrated fire op is also coming down. Where's that going? Oh, is that? Oh, sorry, that's still on cooldown from the previous use. Oh, the cooldown on that's massive. Right, my bad. Yeah, and he doesn't have the muni for that anyway. So make up for the lack of aim with more bullets. So the concentrated fire operation comes down. The Crocodile assumes a very menacing position. And the map control for Yeziwen beginning to become an issue here. He is getting pushed back. That noose is tightening once again. And the Crocodile is just intimidating right now. I'm kind of amazed he doesn't just push a bit harder, because the Crocodile can just sneeze this pack gun down, right? And with that pack gun down, then what else is there? With this pack gun down, there's the Panther. But, I mean, with that pack gun down, then you can just flame all of these guys. And if they fall back, then you just overrun here. And I think even if the Panther comes around and starts hitting that Churchill and penetrates it in the rear armor with every hit, I think you've still got enough time to burn down this pack gun, burn down the infantry and force a fallback, and run the Churchill into the base and burn them all. That's what my Crocodile sense is saying right now. Yeah, it's a risk. But I think risks are really cool, where the result is burning all your opponent's units. Lol. Perhaps I'm just too impatient. Perhaps Zarok is actually... Yeah, I mean, Zarok is undoubtedly taking the smarter line here, but the Crocodile just has so much power. It's so hideously good that I'm always just tempted to try and close out the game. Looks like we've got a Cromwell coming on here for Zarok as well, actually. So I really hope Yeziwen gets that Panther sooner rather than later here. The Centaur is still alive. It finally gets itself a star of veterancy. It has hardly been the MVP of the match, though. has been like one of the worst centaurs I've ever seen. I kind of think it must have been like a misclick or something, because that centaur, I don't know, just hasn't been very good. Even I understand that when he got it, he probably thought it would be accompanying a Cromwell, and that would be pretty good, but I still think 2 Cromwells is usually better than a Cromwell and a Centaur. So I'm a bit confused about the Centaur. Ha! Panther just getting cheeky here, just going to instigate things with this with the Crocodile. Firefly going to creep forwards. Actually, are the munitions not ready? Oh yeah, so okay, he hasn't got tulips yet because he doesn't have the munitions to buy and fire. Oh, the Brumbar taking a solid hit there, but now up to 2 stars, so that's when it does get the better, the armoured skirts and the rate of fire increase. So this Brumbar is now pretty revved up and ready to start rocking. A lot of Tommies just pushing in here though from every angle. Pack gun going to creep forward. That pack gun has to be so careful though, because Crocodile's just really hurt. Oh, getting a lovely hit though. Was that an attack ground hit? Let's just quickly turn on Fog of War here. Yeah, he's just attack grounding that. Well, that's pretty cool.
Our bunker can now accommodate an MG-42.
Oh, this is desperate times. Yeziwen has definitely just mentally decided that his defensive line here in the west is going to be here. Like, he's just not really very often attacking out into this area of the map, which is fine, I guess, but I don't know. If you do that, it means that you are saying, I will definitely hold the middle VP for the rest of the game, and he's not doing that. So he needs to take the bridge. He definitely needs to take that bridge if he's going to stay in this game. He's down at 168 under 316. In danger here, and there's no option for a Tiger or out like that, so it's not like waiting is like going to bring him any more powerful units or anything. I wonder why he doesn't build another Panther. Oh, he's at unit cap again. Why is he at unit cap? Ah, it's because he rebuilt the left 18. Right, there we go. Haha. Okay, so he rebuilt the left 18. I don't know. I don't like that. I think going another Panther is way better. What do you guys think? I don't know. I could well be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure another Panther would have been better than the left 18. But, you know, the left 18 just immediately breaks this position of Brits here on the bridge, and it's the bridge that you want. It's the bridge that you need. So maybe I'm wrong, actually. This left 18 is already starting to look good. And the Brumbar as well. I am so glad I got to cast a game where the Axis player just went straight up to Battle Phase 3 and got a Brumbar, and the Brit player went for a Centaur. And I'm still hoping that like at the 1 hour 10 minute mark in this ridiculously epic game, this is what I'm hoping, it comes down to a one must stand, one must fall, like showdown on the bridge between a Centaur and a Brumbar. That would be fun. It's not going to happen, but it would be fun. I thought this game where we had a Brumbar versus a Centaur was not going to happen. So, you know, we're already here. I'm going to ask for just a little more. Oh, wow. If Yeziwen knew that there was a repairing Firefly over here. Oh, actually, sorry, a repairing Firefly with a ton of backup. So maybe that's not the opportunity I thought it might be. Whoa, the Cromwell, the Centaur, just taking big munches out of this 3-star vet Grenadier squad. Looks like the Cromwell thinking about chasing. Nah, gonna sit back, and I think that's definitely the best choice here. Left 18 still hooting away, and finally, Yeziwen's going to grab back the middle VP. So now he's off the hook in terms of bleed. Now the onus is back on the Brit player to kind of get something done, to kind of make a move happen. And this is one of these really nice, like beautifully delicate and intricately strung together games on Crossing in the Woods that we do sometimes get, where it kind of goes a little bit late and it feels a little bit like Langreskaya, because both forces, it's a small enough map that you can like concentrate your forces and all of your resources and dig in and hold, and it feels very hard to get a triple cap like on Langreskaya. Now the Centaur here coming in for this push is getting turbo weak. Engine damage comes down from the Faust in a lovely position. These Grenadiers turbo brave staying around to the fight though, and the Brumbar gets a vehicle kill taking out the Centaur. Now the Cromwell's next in line, very exposed. Why was this Firefly just not been taking shots for this fight? The Piats on the Royal Engineers are doing real damage. Here comes the Crocodile coming across the bridge. It's all kicking off around here right now. The Brumbar is exposed, but that Firefly just being so timid. If that Firefly was just like in a better position, like behind the Crocodile for this whole fight, then it would have been casting shots in and doing so much damage. I feel like this Brumbar would have been dead if that Crocodile would have been, sorry, if that Firefly would have been more active in that engagement, but it wasn't. Anyway, the Brumbar's going to be forced back. Cromwell coming in for a run. This Panther as well is up to 2 stars, which is hazard again, because that's when it gets increased armor, which is like the last thing you want a Panther to have. Ugh, the Firefly getting a stinging high velocity shell in from the back there, but the pack gun takes out the Cromwell, and the Brumbar will sneak away. concentrated fire operation comes down, but 250 munitions is a lot to pay to make someone move a pack gun. So I'm not sure. That feels like a desperation call in, if you ask me. And I mean, you know, he knows that there's another Lef 18. He needed those 250 munitions to get to destroy the Lef 18 when he next had line of sight. I don't like just flailing in that call in here. That seems like a very big mistake, actually. That could be brutal for Zarok. I don't know. And now these Tommies are in jeopardy. 3-star LMG-42 Grenadiers are no joke, taking a lot of shots at this retreating Tommy. He's gonna get out of there. Whoa, that was a near-run thing there for the British player, who actually is stacking enough manpower to replace these squads. So what the Jesus? The crocodile gets taken out, gets abandoned on the bridge. This is just constant action. Oh, okay, he does take that out, so no chance for the Axis player to get that one. In fact, there's not the unit cap to do it anyway, but now it's 48 supply under 93, and I kind of think Zarok threw it all away with that engagement. I mean, it was a sweep. The instinct was right. The attack was the correct move, but you have to have the Firefly taking shells. I don't think the Firefly fired like one shot that hit the Brumbar here, or maybe 2 shots, but I don't think it was a very big player in that fight at all. And if it was positioned here, or even just a bit closer forward here, it could have been taking shots into the Panther, into the Brumbar, like a lot more, but instead it was like way back here, where it didn't really have line of sight and the range was issues, and I don't know. That just didn't feel very good, but Zarok takes back the bridge. And now Yeziwen is bleeding out, and that is how, if he's going to lose this game, that's how he's going to lose this game. So, for now, Zarok back on top. Oh, dearie me. I can't believe the Brumbar managed to sneak out of that fight. This is one damaged Brumbar, man. Oh, man. 18 British kills. And how many of them are vehicles? 1, 2, 2 vehicles. Spicy Brumbar. And now the Lef 18 can just take shells into the British base. Still pretty good health on these units. I love the way the British base is defending itself as well. We're having a proper arty war here. This is lovely. Just a top game. Just a top game of Company of Heroes. For all its flaws, and I think it's fair to say, it has some. Company of Heroes 2 is still just a riotously entertaining RTS. You know, it just provides entertainment. I must have played probably more Company of Heroes 2, perhaps than any other RTS, and I still keep coming back. You see things, this game engine, and stuff happens. It's just so cool. You just don't get that in other RTSs, I guess, is what I'm saying. Anyway, spacing out for a moment there, let's sharpen up a bit. Boom! Brumbar comes hooning on back into town, shatters these Royal Engineers before it. Might get one more shot on this retreating Royal Engineer, but doesn't find the kill. Firefly's going to respond. Biff gets a nice hit into the Brumbar, and no tulips still. I would love to see him get the tulips. How much are they to fire now? Like 100 still, I think? I think they're 100 to fire. So if he buys them now, he'll have the munitions by the time they're finished. And that's another crocodile coming on in.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
I don't like using the crocodile flares here, because that just tells your opponent that you've got the crocodile like a little bit before it arrives. I always use the crocodile flares over my own base or like miles away, because it's just a big tell that there's a crocodile coming, and like sometimes that can make a difference. Not often, but you know, it's like a small thing, and you might as well do it right, I guess. Anyway, Grenadiers coming forward to try and grab the bridge. They're going to get flaminated. The countryside gets burninated, and the crocodile establishes its dominance once again over the middle bridge. Vickers is garrisoning this VP, but that's actually not that much. And if Yeziwen knew that, he might decide to send forces that way. Oh my god, this Lef 18 could be in jeopardy here, actually. The crocodile is pushing and pushing hard. The mortar gets burned. That mortar will be dead. Wah, they just get utterly hooned on. And now the Lef 18 is next in line. And what's here? Where's the Panther? Uh-oh, what is this Panther doing? Okay, he's going around behind to try and get the rear armor, but he's going to sack his Lef 18 for that. Oh, that is grimy. Oh god, it's like a vision from hell here. As infantry burning and dying, flailing around the place. This is why we have the Geneva Convention these days, so that stuff like the crocodile can't happen again. And it's going to be able to exfiltrate just fine, because it's a Churchill chassis unit. They've got oodles of health. Tons of fire coming in, but oh god, the Brumbar there just finds that pack gun. Just destroyedificates it. Damn. And as you just heard, Yeziwen now with 100 points remaining. And like he's been doing okay. He's definitely keeping his head above water. In fact, better than that. I'd say he's actually given as good as he's getting. But he's falling behind on the VPs. And he's not being able really to hold mid or... Oh man, since when is just sending some pioneers ever going to take a VP under the watchful eye of a crocodile? It's not going to happen. You need more of a plan than that, Yeziwen. You need to send some forces elsewhere. I wouldn't even hate just sending a squad around here either to grab this point or even to come around to the rear of this formation. You know, you get a Faust into the rear of this this Firefly, and suddenly that means all the British units are having to move and shuffle and come to new facings and kind of repulse those guys, or you know, and that might give you a window to just creep in with the Brumbar, take a shot into a cluster of infantry, creep in with the Panther, take a shot into these tanks, just kind of get some pressure on, start stringing something together, throw down some smoke, start trying to, you know, make a play for this point. But anyway, he comes forward with the infantry again, but 3-star Tommies with Bren guns are pretty fierce. The Crocodile's still in the hood here. Now, where's the Panther positioning? Because I feel like that's the most important bit. Okay, the Panther is going to take on this Crocodile. Biff, there we go. Pat gun on support. Grenadiers going to have to fall back because they're just too wasted. Now, he does decap mid, and that's relevant. That is absolutely relevant. But it's not enough. Whoa, getting some good damage onto that Churchill, though. But the Brumbar getting hung out to dry a little bit here. Here comes the Firefly. Tulips, I believe, are ready. Sorry, have tulips been used? Yeah, the tulips, sorry, have already been used, so that explains some of the damage and the stun on that Brumbar. Okay, sorry, no tulips ready, but I mean, the Firefly's still pretty scary just with its main cannon, so looking for shots there. Nearly 3-star vet on the Brumbar, nearly 3-star vet on the Panther. Both of those units developing very nicely under these conditions. And there goes a Pat gun, one of Yeziwen's Pat guns going down, but I mean, look at his resources. He can take his pick of units to replace that. And why does he not build another Panther? Yeziwen, these are not one-of units. You can just build Panthers. Yeah, they are not super heavy call-ins. You can just make them, and I would really recommend you do so right now, Yeziwen, because I think to get rid of this Crocodile, you know, to capture mid, you need to defeat the Crocodile. To defeat the Crocodile, I think you need more than one Panther. That's my read on this, or at least you need to do something. You're at 74 unit cap, but you've got so many resources. Just pick a unit. Whatever you want, buddy, it's yours. Why? Why does he not? I mean, he needs some more infantry as well, you know, like 2 squads of Panzergrens. That would be fantastic right now. Get the 2 squads of Panzergrens, get them some Shreks going. Look at how many munitions he's got. He could literally buy that right now. Hell, he could buy 3 squads of Panzergrens with Shreks. Like, that's a thing he can do. He has that much money, so... Yeziwen, man, it's not often you get to complain about someone's macro in Company of Heroes 2, but I feel like his macro is letting him down. Look at this army in the top left, it's far too small. Yeziwen, buy some units. You're letting the British player, like, just outspend you here. He's going to build an MG bunker in a reasonable position. I don't mind that at all. And the Lef 18 has been replaced again, so this is now Lef 18-3. Oh, or has it? No, sorry, I think it's just been remanned, because I don't think he had to spend the manpower on that. So, okay, sorry, he's just recrewed it, but it's still Lef 18-3. Panther comes forward, gets, like, smoked by the Tulips and the main cannon on the Firefly. That thing, of course, 3-star now. And so that Panther is going to have to run? Surely you ain't staying there. Oh, now Zarok's going to be able to start applying pressure to this VP. Now he's bleeding out at 2 per tick, and I think Yeziwen here is just going to collapse. Needlessly, though. If he just kept building units, he had the time here. He could have rebuilt those units. Oh, I feel like this is a really sad way to lose this game for Yeziwen. Maybe... I don't know, like, because it's too late now. This game's going to be over in, like, 20-30 seconds. But... there was enough time. Like I was saying, it's too late now, but there definitely was enough time to build. For a second I thought, like, oh, maybe did he somehow lose the heavy Panzer Corps to, like, some artillery call-ins or something, but no. And now the game is going to end. Oh, well, an epic battle to be sure, and a very enjoyable cast. But I just feel like Yeziwen... Like, there was just no need for him to lose there. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me. I mean, you know, I certainly enjoy casting Company of Heroes 2, and it's something that, you know, it's just, I don't think I'm super bad at it, but I definitely don't have as much game knowledge or skill as, like, many people in the community. So if you have any idea why Yeziwen wasn't building units there at the end, let me know, because, like, as far as I know, he could have had, like, I don't know, a Panzerwerfer and another Panther, or, you know, a Panther and a command tank, or, like, 3 squads of Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks, or like there's just a lot of extra stuff he could have had there. And I don't think that game had to be over at all. This is pretty funky. I don't think that game had to be over there. And I also think, I tell you what, I'm actually going to hit the quit match and leave the cast rolling so we can check out the post-game statistics, because I'm pretty sure he gave a lot better than he got there. Pretty sure Yeziwen would have had like more damage dealt. It felt like he did more damage, because remember, he destroyed like a Firefly, he destroyed 2 Cromwells, he destroyed the Crocodile, the first Crocodile, and he did all of that mostly with a Panther and a Brumbar and like a couple of pack guns and stuff. So yeah, Yeziwen like miles ahead in the damage dealt, miles ahead. So I don't know. That seems very strange to me that he decided not to build any units there. As I say, if you have any idea about why that might be, please do let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. I just can't think of a reason why that would be. That Panther, by the way, getting on for nearly being 10 times efficient is pretty spicy. And it's a rare game that we see a Brumbar beat anywhere close to 350%. So very well done to Yeziwen for a very entertaining game. But it is Zarok who's going to take this one, and it was nicely done. So congratulations to you, good sir. Thank you very much to all of you for watching. I've been Magpie842, and I will see you next time.